What's going on, everybody? Devore and G Money. This is the Not for Debate podcast. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and all other major streaming platforms. Be sure to follow us on our Twitter page, Instagram page, and also follow us on our Facebook page. NFL Week 10, as always, Wednesday evening. We're going to be covering the line, spreads, predictions like we usually do every Wednesday. But outside of that, man, G, what's going on?
I got nothing to say because I know you want to go in on the Titans and the Rams. They've been real quiet in the chat lately. I haven't heard anybody talk about this game not last night, but Sunday night. Was it Sunday or Monday night? Monday night, right? Sunday night. So I kind of want to give you your time to get on Banks, even though he's not here. It would have been better if he was here, but go ahead, man. Go ahead and get it off your chest.
Well, first things first, I did want to say that I didn't win anything this past weekend. I believe the only pick that I didn't get right was, two picks. It was the Buffalo Bills. That was number one. Now I'll probably say that was the shocker. The shocker upset pick was the Jacksonville Jaguars taking down the Buffalo Bills.
I mean, 6-9, like really? 9 points, 6 points. That's all you can get, Josh Allen. But go ahead.
And like I thought, that game was going to be coming. I just ain't know what game it was going to be, but that seemed to be the game for Josh Allen. I guess that worked out somewhat because we'll have a game like that every year. But let's go ahead and let's the Tennessee Titans and the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Rams, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they were at home, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they were at home. So, when we had the pod last week, me and Banks, do our little thing. He took his Rams. Obviously, I took the Tennessee Titans. Hey, At the end of the day, Matthew Stafford ended up throwing, I believe it was 3 interceptions in that game, and ended up putting the Los Angeles Rams in the hole. And see, here's the issue that Banks have. He does not value the interception, so he does not understand the impact of that interception that Kevin Byard had. That was a pick six, and there were 2 other interceptions during the course of that game that made a big, huge impact on that game. Regardless of what the box score says. Regardless of what the statistics say on paper, because I know he made a big deal about this the next day, how the Los Angeles Rams should have won the game. At the end of the day, wins and losses matter. It may be the most ugliest win, but the Tennessee Titans got the dub. And last time I checked, Tannehill threw 1 interception opposed to Matthew Stafford's 3, and he did not put his team in harm's way. And that's all I got to say about that. The only regret I have that Banks is not sitting here right now. And I have been extremely quiet for the past 5 days.
If Banks was here, it would have been more intense because you two would have went at it. But
oh no, he'd be quiet as a church mouse. He lost. And you know what?
He talks shit whether he lose or win.
I should have took that freaking bet. I should have took it.
What was the bet? $20?
It was supposed to, but I didn't do the $20.
You should have.
I should have took that freaking bet. Actually,
should have because he's not having a good streak right now. You could have took advantage.
Oh yeah. So I didn't exactly see who the Rams play this week. Might have making a wager with him sometime in the near future before Sunday's game. Who knows?
But by the way, what are you drinking? What is that?
Oh, this is right here is the naked juice, man. Strawberry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it better be good because it's like $6. That thing is expensive, man. Oof.
It's $8.
$8 where you at?
$8, sir. But other news before we end up hopping into our Week 10 picks. Obviously, Odell Beckham ended up getting released last week, and nobody claimed him off waivers. So I believe he ended up clearing waivers this morning, if I'm not mistaken. So, in your honest opinion, I know this has been a conversation over the past 3 streams. Where do you think Odell's going to end up for the remainder of the 2021 season. And by the way, shout out to Trey in the comment section too, bro.
The Packers look like a viable option. The Rams, like they're a viable option as well because they don't really have a number one receiver, and they that would help them. But I say he should go to the Packers. I mean, why not?
Right.
That fit his personality. I think him and Aaron Rodgers will fit well.
I like the Green Bay Packers. Also, it'll shut up some of these naysayers about Odell thinking that he's not what he used to be. And Green Bay would be an excellent fit. The only reason why I don't want him to go to the Rams is because Banks was downplaying him the whole time when we had the discussion last week. So I don't want him to be in an unrealistic situation. I want him to feel welcome.
Plus, so, I mean, come on. You rather play with Aaron Rodgers or Matthew Stafford? That's not a hard choice.
I guess if you think about it, yeah. Buffalo.
You see what Trey said? Yeah, no, I don't like Buffalo.
Please, not in Buffalo. We don't want him in Buffalo.
And I don't want to hear no Dolphins fans talking about come to the Dolphins either.
No, I don't want to hear. Yeah, there's nothing to like. As far as me watching the Dolphins this year, I am just not even into it anymore. As far as the Dolphins,
I got a team. What about the Baltimore Ravens?
No, absolutely not.
See, you're a little biased because you don't like Lamar.
That's not biased. That's not biased.
Okay. Go ahead.
This is what I said about Lamar, and this is why I made it known before the season started that no receiver would want to play with him. Is because of the fact that he doesn't. It's not a pass friendly offense. It's a more like Lamar read option, triple option, and stuff like that. So for a ball dominant receiver like Odell or any other possible receiver that you may want to end up bringing in, what number as far as salary is concerned do you think they're going to be like, all right, I'm going to take a pay cut and play here? Because the amount of money that they make all depends on how much their usage is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So if we only throwing the ball, let's say Lamar's throwing the ball like 22 times a game, and
how many times are you going to throw it to Odell? All right,
exactly. So I don't see a situation like that for Odell if he wants to get back on track as far as his career is concerned moving forward.
So I hear you. Trey said, I'm just to interrupt right quick. I'm sorry. Trey said the Saints don't have a quarterback, so that's not a good idea right now. I don't like the Saints. If they still had Jameis Winston, maybe, but he's out for the season, so the Saints are not a good option right now.
Yeah, I feel like Sean Payton will find ways to get him involved in the offense. And to be honest, Trevor Siemian, he didn't look bad. It's just it's division rival against the Atlanta Falcons last week. So I feel like New Orleans is a good fit for him. If depending on what they decide to do moving forward, I'm surprised they didn't have Taysom Hill come in and play quarterback. I thought he was going to be the legitimate backup, but they had him doing some I wouldn't say some tweener type stuff, like
some wildcat stuff.
Yeah, some wildcat stuff. So I guess we'll see what happens with New Orleans as far as their quarterback situation, because I don't think that they can keep on using Trevor Siemian. But there was a report out there that Phillip Rivers was actually entertaining coming out of retirement and signing with the Saints to play with the Saints.
Did you see Phillip Rivers the last year? His arm is done. I think he's done. Like, why would he come back? He's done.
I feel like the last 6 years for Phillip Rivers, his last 5 or 6 years, his arm
that's too far back.
It is because I like legitimate. Like it literally looked like he was forcing the ball in there. Like literally, like that sidearm motion. It just looks like it took everything out of him just to throw the ball. So, well, we'll see. We'll see.
The Raiders are another option. Well, maybe not because they're a mess as well. They're still a good team.
The Raiders, yeah, but it all comes down to if Odell will want to be in a situation like that. Considering the fact you got the whole John Gruden situation, you got the Henry Ruggs situation, and they just released their the cornerback Arnett due to a video where he ended up having a gun in his hand or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not looking too good in Vegas right now. So he made it known that he wanted to go to a contender. So that limits it down to the Green Bay Packers and I wouldn't even want to say the New Orleans Saints because I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs.
Odell to the Colts would be interesting and add a what? Well, see, the thing is, I've always said that the Colts are next year team. Right now, I think their season is pretty much done. Next year, they'll probably be a good team because they just started out bad. So, I mean, the Colts is interesting though. Maybe for next season.
You see their next year team. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with my guys, Trevor and Noah. Be sure to check out Trevor and Noah Sports. Indie Sports. I think they have a legitimate chance of making the playoffs with a wild card spot. Not saying they're gonna win the division, but we'll see where the bracket stands in the next couple of weeks. Because now we in week 10 now, so we got like 7 more weeks. So yeah, the next couple of weeks. Right. We'll see who's contenders and who's pretenders, and I just feel like the Indianapolis Colts. They just had a rough stretch at the beginning of the season, but I feel like it's going to get really easy for the Indianapolis Colts moving forward. Dalvin Cook, that situation, the sexual assault allegations versus Dalvin Cook. I believe it was a former girlfriend.
Let me just say before you get into it, I know it's easier said than done, but these dudes, man, these athletes or celebrities, especially the black ones, you have to realize that you're a target. You have to be more careful, especially when you deal with women. Like they just get now. I don't believe that everybody's doing something bad. There's probably some truth in a lot of things, but you just have to put yourself, around decent people. I don't know, man. These dudes gotta be smarter, man, how they operate.
I agree. And still they just being able to protect yourself from stuff like this. Because I feel like this is one of those situations where, and I don't mean no disrespect. Mm-hmm. Like they got into a spat and their relationship was over, and she just ended up feeling a little too feeling spiteful towards the situation, and we just want to, get back at him because I believe, allegedly, and it was right. it was sexual assault, and it was also imprisonment, if I'm not mistaken, in the report. So, like, people can get imprisonment mixed up because, I've seen situations where dudes have literally, I don't know, went out with their lady or whatever, and the lady got a little too drunk or tipsy, and just to protect them, they would end up keeping them at their place or whatever, and then they would be like, "I'm being held against our will," but literally they're actually looking out for their best interest. So
yeah.
We'll see how that ends up turning out moving forward, but it's unfortunate because having Dalvin Cook on your team is big. It's almost equivalent to the Derrick Henry with the Tennessee Titans, in my honest opinion.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Although shout out to Adrian Peterson, he actually played pretty decent. I thought he was done, but he actually played pretty decent. He played well.
Hey, he's getting his feet wet right now. I feel like he won't get back. He won't get back to Washington football team Adrian Peterson until probably like next week, maybe.
Okay, we'll see.
I'm reading Trey's comment. He said that Dalvin Cook's ex-girlfriend broke into his place and tried to extort him. Damn. Yeah.
That's that type of toxic environment, man. That's just awful for anybody. Not even, just for celebrities or sports people, just anybody. It's got to be more careful who you bring around,
Yeah, definitely. But sometimes you just never know until it's too late.
That's true. That's true.
But I guess that's all the recent news that we have thus far this week. I guess it's time for us to get into our NFL Week 10 picks. Before we hop into that, if you guys are not already hip to the Not for Debate podcast collaboration with betnow.eu, be sure to sign up today. Promo code NFDBET at checkout for any new possible customer. I believe they match the fit up to 50% of your actual purchase. Again, if you're a new customer. So if you want to bet like the Not for Debate podcast crew, be sure to sign up with betnow.eu, promo code NFD bet. Now, with that being said, first things first, we have the Thursday night game. I know we have been dancing with the concept of doing these watch parties. Things have not exactly been panning out because something always ends up coming up. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this one open just because it's the Miami Dolphins and it's the Baltimore Ravens. I'm actually looking forward to this game, to be honest with you, because of the fact 2 years ago, the Baltimore Ravens literally beat the Dolphins. I believe it was 56-3.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I strongly believe that left a nasty taste in the Miami Dolphins' mouths. So I would think they would want to come out here and put on their best performance on national television. But the Baltimore Ravens are a 7.5-point favorite. Where would you like to go with this one?
I was waiting for you to say it. I thought you was going to say what I thought you was going to say. Baltimore, give me the give me the points. Baltimore, give me the points. Yeah, I was going to say money line Baltimore, but it depends on who's the quarterback because the 2 wins that the Dolphins have wasn't Brissett the quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, right?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
New England was the first one with Tua, so Jacoby got 1 and Tua got 1. So
okay.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I wasn't really excited about last week's win against the Texans anyway. Like that's literally at this point the worst team in the league right now. So if you lose to them, the Dolphins are a laughing stock of the NFL. But
they lost to the Jaguars, so you know.
Yeah, well, so did the Bills. So we get a little bit of validation there. We get a little bit of dignity back.
So the way that you started your little soliloquy, it sounded like you were edging towards the Dolphins. Oh yeah, they got beat down, so they're gonna play better. Is that true, or are you just saying Dolphins will cover the spread?
To be honest, I feel like the Dolphins are going to be able to stop the run. So I'm going to go ahead and run with Baltimore, and I'm going to go ahead and take the points too. I believe the points is going to be. Oh, it's already on the screen. What am I doing? 7.5. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking just now. Yeah, 7.5. I'm going to go ahead and go with the 7.5 Baltimore on that one. Okay. And I wanted to actually see what the over and under was for this game too. Over and under. It's 46.5. So
Trey says Tua is going to get sacked 100 times if he starts.
Yeah, that's a strong possibility.
Yeah.
46.5. Do I really want to go with that 46? Do I want to go over?
I would stay under. Let's stay under.
I'm gonna try to stay. My luck with the over and under is not that great, so I'm gonna just go ahead and just leave that alone. I'm just gonna go ahead and just take the points for the 7.5.
You know you can push, right? I mean, that doesn't really happen, meaning that it might exactly hit 46 points. Would you ever do that or not?
Nope, I'm not doing it. I learned my lesson the Monday night game with the Ravens and Colts. Everything was looking good for me. $900 was looking like it was gonna be in my pocket. And then Lamar just scored 22 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. Messed up my whole evening. Oh my goodness. So you're gonna go ahead and go with Baltimore and the points?
With the points, yeah.
So we're in agreement. We're gonna both go with the 7.5 points for the Baltimore Ravens
and that's
the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm leaving it at that. What we got next?
Jacksonville Jaguars at Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are minus 10 or 10.5 point favorite. I actually think this might be closer than people think because Jacksonville. Okay, so let me ask you something. Was that more Jacksonville playing that well, or is that more the Bills were just had a bad game?
Honestly, I think it was more. And they also underestimated Jacksonville. Like, I felt like they went into this game and was like, you know what? These guys are bums. We could take our time. We were going to win this game regardless. And when it comes to playing in the NFL, you have to take every single team seriously because these are professional teams with the best possible athletes in the league.
Yeah, but nobody expected them to only score 6 points. 6 points.
Every dog has his day, and we had this conversation. I believe it was last week or the week before that. As far as the NFL is matchup based, so whatever that the Jacksonville Jaguars was doing to the Buffalo Bills that made them so uncomfortable offensively might be a blueprint for teams that play Buffalo moving forward. So
true.
We'll see what Buffalo does, but I'm going to go ahead and roll with the Indianapolis Colts, and I'm going to go ahead and take the points with the 10.5. And on top of that, I want to see. So the over and under is 47.5. I'm going to go ahead and go with the under 2 as well because I feel like that defense for the Colts is going to shut that Jacksonville Jaguars offense down.
You've been talking about the Colts defense all season. I don't see how they're that good, but okay. But this is easy. Take the Colts with the points. That's it. As far as the over under, you said 47, right?
47, yes.
Yeah, I'll take the under on that.
And shout out to Kyle in the comment section too as well. Long time no here, man. So next pick, what we got?
Cleveland Browns at New England Patriots. New England is, I think that's low. 1.5 minus 1.5 favorite. They're at home. Cleveland does have a good defense, so maybe I see why they're. But I still think that's still low. Maybe they should have gave him 3 points. But do I want to take Cleveland with the upset? You know what? I mean, it wouldn't be a big upset, but I'll take Cleveland money line.
See what that money line looking like. 124. Huh.
What's the over under too? Because this might go over. Well, it depends. Because Cleveland can score
45.5.
That is pretty low.
I'm taking New England.
You're taking New England just a straight up money line, or you taking the points? Or
I'm taking the points, and I might even money line them too. Well, I can't money line and take the points, but either or, I'm gonna go ahead and take the points, and I'll probably money line another ticket.
Would you touch the over under?
No, because
no,
it can go either way. Because if you think about it, the bread and butter for the Browns is they're gonna try to establish the run with Nick Chubb, and I feel like if they don't, it's gonna go under, and if they do, it's gonna go over. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stick with the points here. The 1.5, I think the New England Patriots that can definitely cover that. I'm sorry, we are experiencing technical difficulties with G Money right now, but yeah, as I was saying, with the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots, if the Browns can establish the running game, it's definitely going to go over. And if they can't, it's going to go under. But it's really iffy. It's really iffy when it comes down with the New England Patriots because some weeks they want to play defense, some other weeks they don't want to play defense. So I just to have like a safe bet. Just to have a safe bet. Oh, Nick Chubb is out. That changes everything. So yeah, well, I'm definitely going to go under. if that is the case. Appreciate that, Trey. Yeah, but does it go with the safe pick? I'm gonna go ahead and go with even with him being out. I'm gonna still go with the New England Patriots with the 1.5. With the take the Patriots with the 1.5 for sure. Um, Next pick is the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons that is versus the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are a 9-point favorite. So the Cowboys came off of a really tough loss versus the Denver Broncos last week, which I felt like the Cowboys should have been able to handle them. Now, the defense for the Dallas Cowboys is a little bit concerning because I feel like back-to-back weeks, the star cornerback Trayvon Diggs has been exposed as far as that double move is concerned. So I can see Matt Ryan taking advantage of Trayvon Diggs in this game, and also Cordell Patterson has been balling for the Atlanta Falcons too as well. Defense is still a concern for the Atlanta Falcons, so I can see why the Dallas Cowboys are 9.5-point favorites, but I feel like it's going to be a close game where the Atlanta Falcons are going to end up covering this game. And to be honest, I will be careful about Atlanta because they've been on a little bit of a streak. They've been on a little bit of a streak. So if you want to go ahead and put them in there as far as a possible money line pick, wouldn't exactly put it on anything. Wouldn't put it on anything major, but just a little mini ticket just to see how things go. I would seriously consider it. So definitely, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons. They're going to cover the 9.5. The over and under is well, I'm looking at the money line. Excuse me. The over under is 55.5. So 55.5. That's about 55.5. Man, why can't I count? 22.5 points. So no, 25, 20, 20, 26.5 points. Why can't I count?
What are you talking about? I'm sorry, I had some technical difficulties.
55.5. I was talking about the Atlanta Falcons and Dallas Cowboys. The over and under is 55.5. So that's
wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, so that's about 26 points a piece.
I mean, they could cover that. I could see that going over. I could see that going over. I mean, do you imagine them scoring over 60 points? I mean, they can. That's the issue with the Falcons. It's a possibility. The Falcons, they have a potent offense. The issue is their defense, so they can't stop anybody. So yeah, that'll go over. That can go over. But would you touch it though?
No, I'm just gonna go ahead and go with the Atlanta Falcons being able to cover the 9 points.
Okay. I would actually agree with you. And you know what? I would be bold enough to go over as well.
I don't know what kind of defense we're gonna get out of Dallas.
But we know what kind of defense we're gonna get out of Atlanta. So
yeah, but do we really think Dallas is gonna be able to cover? They might. They could. 26 points. They could.
I could see Atlanta scoring over 30 and Dallas scoring over 30 to probably win the game.
Yeah. All right. I guess I say you could go with the over, but my luck with over and under is terrible. So I'm just going to go ahead and just say the Falcons are going to cover the 9.5.
Just a shout out to Trey. He's in the chat. Diggs will get exposed by Pitts. Okay, well, we'll see. I mean, Diggs has been playing out of his mind this year, so we'll see.
Yeah, I can see it. Calvin Ridley even. I can see a 60-yard bomb to Calvin Ridley because Trayvon Diggs bit on a short route. What's the next one we got?
I mean, Buffalo, after getting beat down, well, not beat down, but embarrassed, I should say, by the Jaguars, they pretty much, you would think that they would pretty much have a bye week against the Jets. That's why the spread is so high. But the Jets have surprised a lot of people this year. I mean, they're losing, but they're playing enough to mess up everybody's ticket. So I don't know if I would trust Buffalo with the points here. I think the Jets can cover it. I would take the Jets, cover the points, but Buffalo will still win. And I wouldn't trust the over under.
You're not a Mike White fan? You don't believe in Mike White?
Mike White had a good game last game. I mean, he's all right, but again, Buffalo been exposed, so we'll see.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take Buffalo, but I think the New York Jets are going to cover the spread if Mike White plays. I like what I see out of Mike White so far, so I'm going to go ahead and ride. We're going to ride him and see what happens moving forward.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, you don't think they did say Calvin really did have a personal matter to handle. They didn't exactly say what he was dealing with or whatever. Just a side note for the Atlanta Falcons and Calvin really. But what am I thinking? I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. What am I thinking? Well, come on now. What am I thinking? They just got embarrassed last week by one of the worst teams in the NFL. They're gonna come back to back weeks and
what was that game? The Jets actually won, and everybody was like they were going to get beat down. I forgot the game. They played against
the
Titans. I mean, and they did that twice this season, surprising everybody. So you won't be bold enough to take the Jets to cover the points?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills in the 13.5. Damn. Do I want to take that? That's tough. Messing with the daggone Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets, the two most concerning teams right now. What is the over and under in this?
It had to be under 50. Definitely had to be under 50.
47.5.
Okay.
47.5. Do I believe in this defense enough for them to be able to hold the New York Jets scoreless?
Scoreless?
Offense ain't that great.
Okay.
The New England Patriots was able to do it, so
yeah, but whose defense is better, Buffalo or New England?
It's a toss-up.
I think Buffalo is mostly great because of their offense. Their defense is okay.
I agree. They do have some studs on their roster. Tre'Davious White, Tremaine Edmonds. Mm-hmm. So, and that pass rush is wicked too.
Yeah,
pass rush.
Yeah.
So what we doing here? Because I'm just gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna go with the under on this game.
I think this actually would be an underdog bet for me. I take the Jets to cover the points, but still lose. But cover the points though.
Okay, they're gonna cover the points. They're gonna cover 13.5 points. That's a big spread. Okay,
that is.
All right, what you got? What's next?
New Orleans Saints at Tennessee Titans. Tennessee -3 favorite. I mean, I don't see how this should be bigger to me. I guess they're factoring Derrick Henry not being there. I don't know. I don't know why it's only 3 points. The Saints don't have a quarterback. I mean, I don't see them being competitive, but take Tennessee with the points. I mean, this one is easy to me.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. I'm taking Tennessee too, but I can see why they ended up making only 3 points. They feel like Derrick Henry was the engine for the Tennessee Titans, and they're not believers in Ryan Tannehill. But it's okay. We have another week to showcase that no Derrick Henry, no problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Tennessee with the 3 points. Easy.
Yeah, easy.
And the defense is balling too. They just got to get a couple turnovers off of Trevor Siemian, and they're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Washington Football Team. Tampa Bay is a 9.5 point favorite. That team in Washington is just a mess to me. They should have been better by this point in time. They had all the potential in the beginning of the season. I felt like that Giants win should have propelled them to, just make a run because it's a great divisional win. People were saying that the Giants were going to be a good team, this and that, but they just been so mediocre. Tampa Bay is not losing two in a row. That's not going to happen. So yeah, this is easy to take Tampa with the points, and I would go under on this one. There's no way. I mean, I don't know what the over under is, but I'll take under.
I'm taking Tampa 2 and 51.5.
Come on, man. There's no way they're gonna hit that. That's too much. This Washington team's gonna score up to no. I can see Tampa scoring, but not the other team. No.
Yeah. Excuse me. If the Washington football team defense, as far as the secondary is concerned, continue to give up big plays, there's no way that they're going to win this game. And Tom Brady is going to have a good old time with that Washington football team defense. And I don't even think their offense is going to be able to move the ball versus Tampa. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the 9.5 too as well. I wouldn't even be surprised if they hold the Washington football team scoreless too, actually.
I don't think anybody's going to be scoreless in the league. I doubt that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm just not a believer in the offense. I feel like I'm not a fan of
I'm not a believer in the team either. In general. Yeah.
It's Tampa Bay. Well, this doesn't need to be dragged out for an explanation. Tampa Bay. That's enough said. Taylor Heineke, Tom Brady, no competition
at all.
That's my 5. They're 9.5. All right, where we at?
All right, so Detroit Lions at Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are favored by 9.5. I think the Steelers are just holding on to dear life. Like they're just surviving, pretty much. They're just surviving. They're trying to get that wild card because I don't think they could beat Baltimore or even Cleveland for the division. So they're trying to get the wild card spot, trying to do something with Ben. It's probably going to be his last year. But I don't think the Lions can beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. So I mean, give me Pittsburgh with the points.
Pittsburgh with the points. I'm going to say that Detroit is going to cover that 9.
Okay.
I think that game is going to be a whole lot closer than what people think it is going to be.
Well, we'll see.
I just don't like the way Pittsburgh plays football offensively. Anyway, I feel like if they can't get the running game going with Najee Harris, they're beatable, very beatable.
True, that is true. But when it's going though, they're going pretty well. I mean that guy.
Yeah,
I think he's having a good year. Yeah,
until Big Ben screws it up somewhere.
No love for Big Ben.
No, absolutely not. I'm taking the Detroit Lions. They're going to cover the 9.
Okay, all right. So Minnesota Vikings at Los Angeles Chargers. I actually want to hear you go first on this one because you've been talking about the Vikings defense and the quarterback for all season. So go ahead. Let me hear you.
So 2.5 points, Minnesota Vikings. Okay, so last week they ended up taking the loss to the Baltimore Ravens. Mm-hmm. Did they go to overtime?
Yeah, they did. Baltimore won in OT, yeah.
Yeah, they won in overtime. So it was a close game. I felt like the Vikings kind of dropped the ball because they ended up coming out fast with I believe they ended up having a 2-possession game going into halftime, and then Baltimore ended up turning it up in the second half. That's one thing you got to do with Baltimore. You got to keep your foot on their throat coming out in the second half because that's when they're most dangerous. But you're possibly not going to have Dalvin Cook this week. So you're gonna have to rely on Matson this week versus the Chargers. So I believe this game is definitely going to be a shootout between the Chargers and Vikings. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Los Angeles Chargers to edge out the win. But I wouldn't rule out a possible money line pick too as well. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Chargers are gonna cover the 2.5, and looking at the over and under as we speak. Over and under right now is going to be 51.5, 25 apiece. So
that's easy. Go over. That's easy.
I ain't gonna touch it. I'm just gonna go ahead and just roll with the I'm taking the Chargers.
You won't be bold enough to touch the over under.
I'm not doing it no more. I feel like that's something that I should not be doing ever again. 2.5. Give me that with the Chargers. Only time I'll do the over is when it's a primetime game. That's the only time I will do the over. I'm gonna go ahead and let you roll.
You know what?
Yeah.
I seen something in the Okay. I'm sorry. No, I was just gonna say I seen something in the Vikings. I think the Chargers are starting to come to earth a little bit. They're kind of struggling lately. I know they're winning, but they don't look as smooth as they did in the beginning of the season. So I would take Minnesota with the money line upset. That's not so much of an upset because it's only 2.5, but they're still on the road. So I'll take Minnesota.
Let's see what that line is actually. That line is 146. It's 146. Not a bad money line pick. Definitely not a bad. So you're gonna go with the money line, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll with the Chargers covering the spread. All right, what we got?
Carolina Panthers at Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are 10.5 favorite. I can see that. Again, we've been talking about the Panthers all season, how they had this great start, and now they slipped a little bit. I think that the Cardinals are one of the teams in the NFC, that have a chance. So I don't think the Panthers coming in on the road can beat this team. I don't see it. I know Green Bay did it, but that's Green Bay. So I mean, this is easy to me. I don't think this should be a discussion. Give me Cardinals with the points.
Considering how Sam Darnold is going to be done, possibly for the remainder of the season, I'm taking the Cardinals.
Well, yeah,
taking the points too. Taking the points. There's nothing to discuss. There's no quarterback for the Panthers. They invested so much in the defense, adding C.J. Henderson, adding Stephon Gilmore, and literally thought they were going to be legitimate playoff contenders. And without the lack of success at the quarterback position, I do not see that happening for the Carolina Panthers. So let's go ahead and just chalk this up as a wash of a season.
Yeah. It's unfortunate too, because they I had hope for them. But the next one is Seattle Seahawks at Green Bay Packers. So I got a question. Is Aaron Rodgers playing in this game or he's still out?
They're saying it's a possibility that he could play, but hey, I will wait until the last possible moment for me to place my bet for this game, because they're saying that Russell should be back this week too as well. So if we get Russell and Aaron back, this could be hard to decide, because if it's just Aaron, I'm going to go ahead and take the Packers. If it's just Russell, I can go and take the Seahawks. But if they're both playing, it's a toss up for me.
So if it's neither of them, if it's neither of them, who are you taking?
I'm taking the Packers. I feel like the Packers defensively are a way better team than the Seattle Seahawks. I feel like they're just salvaging from what they're still trying to pick themselves up from the Legion of Boom years. Like there's a whole bunch of no-name guys on that defense. There's no name guys that other than Bobby Wagner and the safety Jamal Adams. That's it.
So you believe in love then, huh? You believe in love?
For his first game, it was what to be expected. you know, you get your first time in NFL action. Didn't exactly go out and perform the way that we thought he was going to perform. We thought we was expecting an Aaron Rodgers first game ever type performance, but it happens. A lot of the quarterbacks learn different ways, and hopefully, if well, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't decide to come back to the Green Bay Packers, hopefully Jordan Love will be ready next year. But he definitely needs some work.
So if neither starting quarterbacks are not playing, I agree with you. I'll go with Green Bay to cover the points. But let's just say both are playing, Rodgers and Russell. I think that spread might even stay the same. I still think the Packers would win because I just think they have a better team than the Seahawks. But let's say if Rodgers doesn't play and Russell plays, I would pick the Seahawks. If I would stay away from this game, to be honest with you, because you just never know what might happen. But just for the people, just because we have to, it all depends on what quarterback is playing. So
I agree. I 1000% agree. If they both play, I would try to stay away from this game as much as two teams play with their starting quarterbacks in the lineup. It go either way. It literally go either way. Like I remember the most memorable Russell Wilson versus Aaron Rodgers game had to be in the year when they had those substitute refs when they was under a collective bargaining agreement, and they end up coming. They call it the Fail Mary, and I believe it was a Monday night game, and they ended. I believe that game cost the Green Bay Packers a particular playoff spot. So, like, you never know when it comes down to the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. So I would try to avoid this one as much as possible. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go ahead and just go with Green Bay coming 3.5 points.
right, because they're home. Yeah. Oh my God, this team, Philadelphia Eagles at Denver Broncos. The Broncos are -3 favorite. I was upset with the loss last week. I thought the Eagles played their best game all around, but we just didn't have the ball last, so we couldn't win. But it's very unfortunate. This team has potential to be great, maybe next season, but they just lose close games, and on the road, I mean, they just lost their best defensive rusher. So I don't know if the Broncos are going to be. Do you think they still have an elite defense? Do you still think they're good?
Oh yeah,
Good enough to beat Philly?
Defensively 1000%. I did want to highlight. Well, you wasn't here at the beginning when we ended up having the Jordan Howard discussion when he had his first stint with the Eagles, and we had our top 5 running backs list, and I had Jordan Howard on my top 5 of the Eagles, and I thought he was going to actually do something with them, and he did. He was on pace to rushing for over 1,000 yards with you guys, and he ended up getting hurt. But it's based off of the game that y'all played against the Chargers last week. It's looking like Jordan Howard is going to be the full-time starter moving forward until Miles Sanders returns.
As he should.
To be honest, yeah, and to be honest, I feel like he's better than Miles Sanders at this point for y'all as far as being the starting running back for the Philadelphia Eagles.
So are you going to pick my team then or no?
No. Actually, you know what? I will take y'all. I'll take y'all.
You think so?
Y'all. Yeah, I'll take y'all.
The what? The money line?
Yeah, I'm a money line. I'm a money line the Eagles. I think that's gonna be an upset. I'm taking y'all.
Okay. I hope you're right. We still, as crazy as the season has been, we still have a chance to make it to the playoffs, which is
no. Okay, now you're taking it too far. I already think the team college to get in the money line. Now you're gonna be talking about some playoffs. No, there's no.
Come on, man.
Whatsoever in your future this year, 2021. It's not happening.
8 and 9 in the playoffs as a wild card. The NFC is terrible. There's only really 3 teams. Come on, man. We can make the playoffs. Come on.
You're not making the playoffs.
We can make the playoffs, man. We can make the playoffs, man.
Try as you may.
What is it? Not 9-7 no more. 9-8. Make the playoffs.
You're not making the playoffs. It is the dead issue. You're not making the playoffs.
Okay. Where are you going? Denver's going to make the playoffs either. That division is tough. I'll take a Philly with the upset money line. I got to be a homer at least once. I
gotta be a
just
homer
have
at
to.
least once.
Just
Okay, well,
just
we're in
one time.
agreement.
Just one time.
We're in agreement. We're both going to go ahead and roll with the money line.
This next game is huge for the Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs at Las Vegas Raiders. The Chiefs on the road are a 2.5 favorite. I think this game means more to Kansas City because they can't continue to fall behind. I know they just won last week, but they're still behind in the division. I think the Raiders lead the division, right? Or is the Chargers? One of them.
I believe it's the Raiders.
Yeah, I think they're 5-2, I think, or something like that, 6-2.
Mm-hmm.
So they need this game. But do I believe in their defense? Hell no. That's one of the worst defenses I've ever seen. They can't stop nobody. They can't stay in front. They can't stop the run. They can't rush the quarterback. They can't do nothing. They might as well just take the defense off the field and just let the offense just do it whatever they want. That's how terrible that defense is. So I don't believe in the Kansas City Chiefs because of their defense, and also because people are figuring out Holmes, although he's starting to adjust and look a little better. But no, I got the Raiders, man. I don't know how the Chiefs are a favorite in this one. I don't get it. I got the Raiders. Give me the Raiders to cover the points.
I'm going to money line the Raiders too as well. And seeing as how the Kansas City Chiefs only scored 13 points last week, it's very, very concerning for the Kansas City Chiefs moving forward as far as them possibly still being contenders in the AFC. So, yeah, give me the Raiders and the new addition of Deshaun Jackson. I'm looking forward to seeing that for the Raiders too as well. So yeah, money line.
Okay. What about the over under?
No. I'll take the over.
Okay.
Well, let me look at it real quick. Actually,
yeah, look at it. Make sure. I mean, 13 points. That's not good as far as for the Chiefs. I think they're much better than 13 points, but
51.5.
Do you okay? So the Raiders. Go ahead.
Leave it alone.
You leave it alone. Yeah, leave it alone. Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Don't even bother it. Okay, Los Angeles Rams at San Francisco 49ers. The Rams are -3.5 favorite. Didn't they play? This is the second game or it's the first game? I believe it's the first game, right?
First, I think. Yeah, I think this is the first.
Do you think the 49ers are a disappointment so far?
No, they're exactly what I thought they were going to be. They were going to be a middle-of-the-road team, and they was going to struggle trying to figure out who's going to be their quarterback. It was just way too many question marks for the San Francisco 49ers coming into the season offensively. So,
weren't you the one that said it didn't make sense for them to draft a quarterback since they already had Garoppolo?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with them drafting a quarterback. Like, I felt like that could have waited another year, but hey, who am I? Who am I? I'm just the guy through your computer screen. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Rams, and I'm actually disappointed they're gonna get another primetime game back to back like this, even though they had a disappointing showing last week. So yeah, go ahead and give me the Rams covering the 3.5.
I think that's the safe bet, and I think that if you're smart, you would take that bet. But I'm going to go with the 49ers with the money line. I guess that's my upset pick. Give me the 49ers.
49ers? Oh, my goodness. I feel like they're going to get blanked.
You think so? Because you think the Rams are motivated because they got embarrassed a little bit?
Yes, they're going to get blanked.
I doubt it.
They're going to get blanked.
Got the 49ers. I'll go with them.
Damn, too bad Banks ain't here. I'm pretty sure we could have put a bet on this one too. Well, I took the Rams.
We could have.
Anyway. So you that would have been a bet for you this week.
Another $20.
But that's the Monday night game. So expect the unexpected in a Monday night game. It might end up going over. What's the over and under? 48.5.
It's pretty much 50 points. I think they can cover that.
Yeah, they can cover that. I feel like they should be able to cover it.
Okay. So when was the last time you touched the over and under? It's been a while. What, week 2? I think, wasn't it week 2? I forgot what team you went with. I forgot.
Week 7. It was week 7.
Oh, week 7? No, so
Ravens
recently.
and Colts. Week 7, Ravens and Colts. Yep, week 7, Ravens and Colts.
And you went over or under?
I went under. That one game cost me $900. That one game. But again, I did want to put this out there. We are betting on Bet Now.
That Bet Now. Listen, man.
Yes, we are betting on betnow.eu. Be sure to sign up with the promo code Not for Debate NFD. Bet at checkout. They match 50% of your payout if you want to bet with the Not for Debate podcast crew. Banks. I said Banks. G Money. Did you have any final thoughts before we end up closing this thing out, man?
No, there's an investigation going on. I don't know if you heard with the Phoenix Suns, their owner. He's being accused of they're working in a hostile work environment, being accused of being racist, sexist, just being bad, ignorance. And I guess the NBA is doing an investigation, and his wife is calling the witnesses, which is, that's a no-no if you know about court stuff and all that. I just want to say a lot of these owners, wow, I can't believe. Okay, so a lot of these owners are COVID with their, covert, I should say, with their, transgressions. And if you work somewhere and you don't like where you work or you're being harassed, you should always speak up for yourself, no matter what. Always find the out. Don't be mistreated just because it's a job. Again, this is all allegedly, so we don't know what exactly is going on. But people, if you're being harassed at work, don't let it slide. Speak up for yourself, and that's all. It's terrible that you can't go to work and be happy. When you have to go to work and be upset and angry, it just makes it so much worse, man. Yeah.
I agree. And it's interesting how since the NFL had their email situation, you have that situation with the Phoenix Suns owner, and then also the situation in hockey. I don't have the exact details in front of me right now, but there was a specific player that was, he claims that he was raped while being on a particular professional hockey team. Well, I'll have the details for you probably next Wednesday. I'll probably have it for you next Wednesday. But outside of that, man, what anything else you got, man? I'm sorry, we must be experiencing some technical difficulties. G, can you hear me? I'm assuming he can hear me. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap this thing up here. Be sure to go ahead and follow us on our social media. Oh, I was asking what was if you had anything else. Oh man, I guess he seriously technical difficulties. But yeah, be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, and our Twitter pages. Be sure to go ahead and check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and all other major streaming platforms. This is the Not for Debate podcast. We'll be back Saturday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We are out of here, man.